remember trying out for West Side Story on Broadway, and I kept thinking, "Oh, just hide in the back." So you got to be a triple threat. You got to act, sing, dance. I could sing, I can dance. I could sing, I can act. And I'll just hide in the back. And I was like, "Oh, get back there." I remember it was like 1612 or whatever. I had my number on there, and I'm in the back, way in the back. And the show, okay, and step, ball, change, and step, and turn, and 2, and 3, and turn, and 2, and 2, and then. Got it? Here we go. And music. I'm way in the back. Then they go, okay, and with that, everybody turn, and then the guy goes to the back. Now I'm in the front of the line. And he just goes, 16112, thank you. It's just like, not even close. When you're a jet from your first cigarette to your last dying day. Officer Crumpkey, we're down on our knees. Bye-bye. All right. I didn't want to talk about this, but Joe's like, talk about Malcolm-Jamal Warner.
Let's start by getting his name right. Malcolm-Jamal Warner.
Jamal Warner. Passes away after a drowning incident in Costa Rica. And I said, well, I don't want to speak ill of the dead. And you're like, no, because I use you as sort of the guardrails of stories I can tell and not tell, which isn't good.
No.
When Jacob was in charge of guardrails, very, very tight. Right?
To be fair, he's the one that came over. And
Jacob's the kind of guy you get on a boat. And he's like, everybody needs to put life vests on. And it's the really uncomfortable ones that hook around your neck and they smell. You guys, everybody put on life vests? We're not wearing those. No, we all have to wear those.
Beat it, nerd.
He's a rule follower.
He brought this to our attention. So
who did?
Jacob did.
Oh, because of my. Okay, so tragically, the man dies. He drowns. Okay.
Theo Huxtable.
Yes.
Cosby Show.
I did a show in Washington, D.C., and any actor, performer that was on their way down was on our show. We had everybody that was basically just close to being absolutely obscure. We would get them. Like you may remember him from, Hogan's Heroes. You're like, who? Right. But we had all old people in the audience. They would bus them in from the old folks' home. Yeah. Sometimes you couldn't even hear the guests over the sound of the oxygen tanks that were hissing in the front row. Just tons of wheelchairs. It was like a wheelchair show. So he comes on and we're in the green room and we're chatting beforehand before going out there. And he's like, man, how long, he said, where do you live? I said, I'm just outside of D.C. and about 20 minutes away. Do you ever stay in the city for like hanging out? And I said, yeah, I could. We got to hang out because I'm going to be in town for like 2 days. We got to have dinner tonight. Man, you are so funny. We're going to have such a good time because I got nothing to do. So let's go out tonight. You must know where all the good places are. I said, yeah, there's Adams Morgan's really kind of go, cool, let's go there, man. Let's go there. Let's do something. I want to do something. Yeah. I want to see this town with you, man, because you're John Curley. You're John Curley. Let's see this town. I was like, wow, look at this guy from the Cosby Show, I'm hanging out with a celebrity. Yeah. I said, oh, come on, you don't want to. No, I'm serious, man. We would really have we'd tear this town up. I was like, okay, well, all right. Let me just write down my phone number for you here. You could so you can call me. This is my number. And if you want, I could stick around. No, you don't have to stick around because I got to do the show and I got other things to do, but I'll call you afterwards. I said, yeah, okay. So here we go. And that's a 4. You can't read my writing. That's a 4. So I write down. I said, I'll just take this for you, and then I'll put this right here. Yeah, I got to get some makeup on. Yeah, get makeup on. Okay, I'll put it right here. So just leave it right here on the desk, and that way you've got it. Man, we're gonna have a great time tonight. We have a great time. I was like, yeah, well, I guess we will.
And this is before you guys did the show.
Yes,
okay.
Before he came out already in the green room. He was digging it. Right,
I see.
Gonna have a fun time. So he comes out, I don't know whatever he's talking about, some book he's selling or something else, right? And the old folks are like, oh, I recognize him. So show ends. He leaves because he left after his little performance there. And then I go back into the green room an hour later, and I said to, I think it was Mary, she was the makeup artist. I said, hey, so how about Malcolm? Was it Malcolm? Yeah. I'm going to go out with that guy tonight. I mean, we're going to go out and hit the town. And she's like, oh, okay. I look over to the right. There's the piece of paper with my name on it and my phone number. I didn't even think I'd put a smiley face on there. He never took it. He never had any intention of taking it. He just thought he'd just kind of shampoo me up before going on the air. And I'm just like, did he like get a piece of paper and like write it on his own piece of paper, or maybe like put it somewhere else, like in a book or something? She said, no, I don't think so. He just left it there. And I even kind of said something to him about, hey, don't you want this? And he's like, yeah, I'll get it later, whatever.
Ouch.
Ouch.
That hurts.
It's happened to me a number of times, and I kept saying, I'm never going to get sucked in with this. Other people like, oh, we should go. I'm like, really? Nah.
So it's clearly a technique to feel like you bonded before you go on the air.
Larry King did the same thing to me. Yes, he did the exact same thing. He's like, oh, here's John Curley. Quit his job as a medical supply guy, moved to Grand Junction. Then from there, 6 months later, to Champaign-Urbana. He knew my whole bio. This is before you could just Google somebody. Yeah. And then he made it, and then he gets nominated for an Emmy, and then he gets this show. It's like, wow, look at Larry really digging on me. Yeah, you're that guy. I was like, really? Wow, how about that? So I go to interview him because I was going to ask him questions like, hey, your show gets horrible ratings. How do you get such great guests? And somebody spends their whole life writing a book. Don't you think you should crack it open a couple of times? The man had some real hard-hitting questions for Larry King, but I wasn't going to do that now because he was a big fan. So I go back into the same thing. I sit down in the green room. I get my makeup off. I said, how about Larry digging all over me, knowing all my stuff? She's like, oh, sweetheart, I told him all that stuff just before you walked in, and he basically memorized it. It's like, oh, my God, I got to get him shampooed by these old crappy celebrities.
Oh.